Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about today the decline of Western civilization that was founded on Greco-Roman philosophy and the Judeo-Christian values. Okay, and it's been a powerful force that has shaped the modern world. However, in recent decades, many have expressed their concerns about the decline of the very principles that founded society, right? There's political shifts, there's moral shifts that are changing the foundations of Western society. So from a Catholic viewpoint, the causes of this decline can be traced to several key factors: the erosion of religious faith, the breakdown of the family unit, the rise of relativism and secularism. So we're going to talk in this video about these things going on and the Catholic response, right? The first one being the erosion of the religious faith, the secularization of the society. So one of the primary factors in contributing to the decline of our Western civilization is the increasing secularism in society. It promotes separation of religion from the public life that has been dominant for the majority of Western culture history, particularly in Europe and now in the United States. A shift happened during the Enlightenments that gained momentum ever since the French Revolution, leading to changes in morals in Christian societies. Historically, Western civilization was deeply intertwined with Christian teachings, with the church guiding moral principles, shaping the laws of countries, influencing education and arts. And so the decline of religious faith in Christianity has created a moral vacuum in society without a moral compass. Now we're a society without a moral compass, with confusion everywhere about basics on what is right and wrong. So the correct Catholic response is a call to renew the faith. From the Catholic perspective, the loss of religious faith is tragic. It weakens the spiritual core of society, and a healthy society must be rooted in the gospel. Without this foundation, people are left vulnerable to ideologies that harm human dignity and the common good of all. So us Catholics, we're called to be at the front line, to be witnesses of Christ and share the light of faith to a world that's becoming dim. So Pope St. John Paul II encourages Catholics to participate in the renewal of faith, inviting us to confront the secularism and preach the truth of the gospel, right? So the second issue is the breakdown of the family unit, the decline of the traditional family structure. That's a huge factor for the decline of Western civilization, is the disunity in the traditional family. The family is the cornerstone of society, and it's being weakened by individualism, normalization of divorce, and the promotion of alternative family structures. And so the Catholic Church teaches that marriages between a man and woman for divine and natural rights, and they make the foundations of a stable society. The collapse of the family unit has horrible consequences: erosion to the society, the breakdown of valuable transmission. It's unstable for the future generations of children spiritually. They're negatively and morally impacted negatively in this confusing world without stable support by a two-parent household in a traditional way, right? So what can we do? We can encourage the strengthening of marriage, the strengthening of family life, and the sanctity of marriage, and provide support for families that are suffering. Marriage is a sacrament, and the family is the domestic church. It's a place where faith is nurtured and love is practiced. And the church also emphasizes Catholic education, both at home and in the schools, and the importance of parish communities that help the families to raise the children together in faith. Right? And so to address these challenges posed by modern society, the church offers practical solutions through marriage preparation programs, family counselings, and support by those who are affected by divorce. The church calls for a cultural shift on the values of family and to return to the traditional roles of the man and woman in society, right? There's the threat of moral relativism. In addition to secularism and the breakdown of the family, moral relativism poses a huge threat to our Western society, okay? It asserts that there is no objective moral truths, and that morality is simply a matter of personal opinion or preference, right? So this worldview has become more prevalent in the Western society, leading us to confusion and to acceptance of actions that were once considered completely unthinkable, immoral: abortion, euthanasia, same-sex marriage. The spread of relativism undermines the concept of objective moral standards, creating huge division and confusion within a society. And societies have to make decisions based catering to personal decisions and convenience rather than on truth and justice. These are ideologies that promote individualism, materialism, and a culture of death, right? So the correct response to this is upholding objective truth. From a Catholic perspective, moral relativism is a serious error that undermines human dignity and the common good. The Church teaches that objective moral truths exist and they're rooted in natural law and divine revelation in Scripture and tradition. These truths are not subject to your personal opinion or to cultural trends. They are universal and unchanging, right? So we're Christians, we're called to defend that truth and to live according to these moral teachings of the Church and to engage with the society and offer an alternative society that follows the teachings of Christ, right? So we are to stand firm in our convictions and to speak out against the moral relativism. There's the decline of virtue, the rise of tyranny, political and social instability, right? So in Western civilization, we're facing a decline in civic virtue, which is essential for a functioning democracy. As people becoming more and more focused on individualism and less committed to the common good of society, there's political polarization, there's social unrest, and this erosion of civic virtue creates an environment where ideologies can flourish as people become more and more willing to surrender their freedoms for the promise of security and money and convenience and comfort. The rise of collectivism presents danger to the core principles of liberty and justice that have historically defined the West. As governments grow in power, personal freedoms are at risk, and moral convictions are increasingly undermined. So, the correct Catholic response is to demand justice and the common good of society. The Catholic Church teaches that political power must be exercised for the benefit of all people, promoting social justice and protecting human dignity. Catholics are called to engage in the political process to uphold human rights, the common good of all, right? And so to solve problems in society on a local level, right? We can all start on a local level, and we are also encouraged to participate in the civil society, right? Promoting a society that is firm on truth, justice, charity, advocating policies that protect life, the family, the religious freedom, and the Church's response to, to the errors of society and to stick to the gospel, right? So basically, it's a call, right? This is a call of action to all Catholics, right? Western civilization is facing a crisis in the erosion of religious faith, the breakdown of the family, the rise of moral relativism, and the decline of virtue and for all good, right? And so these challenges are facing us in Western society. And so we have to do our part to go back to the values that once made it great, right? And so the Catholic Church offers a response grounded in truth of the gospel. Catholics are called to renew their faith, defend the family, uphold the objective moral truths, and actively engage in political and social life in a world to commit to justice and good for all, right? So through our efforts, we can restore Western civilization and ensure that it remains true to human dignity, to freedom, and to truth, and to the gospel of Christ. God bless.